Morning. Well, it's not good morning, is it? It's afternoon where you're at.
It's good afternoon, and it is a glorious, beautiful, sunshiny afternoon here. So,
Cool.
yeah, I'm working from the home office. There is like some bugs going around right now. I'll tell you what.
They kind of show up and don't go away for a while when
Oh,
springtime's showing up.
this one's a kicker. So, anyway, should we get started?
Yeah, let's get going.
So, welcome to the Ski Summit Real Estate Show. Thank you so much for joining us. This is where we're going to talk about the real estate up in Summit County. We got some big things going on in the news. A lot of people have heard about it. So, I'm your host, Matt Dayton. I'm here with Benji. Benji does my local sidekick. So, anyway, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about real estate and talk about what's going on. So,
I heard that the sky is falling. In fact, you're not the only real estate person I work with that said this recently. What is going on?
The sky is falling. Yeah. Yes, it feels, for a lot of people right now, it feels like this is changing the industry. So the NAR verdict is out. So National Association of Realtors has basically put out the verdict and it's a settlement. Hasn't gone through yet, but we're going to touch on that today. So yeah, indeed. We got a special guest with us today, Mark Cribbet with Cribbet and French law firm. So we're going to have him joining us. Going to cover that and a lot more. But before we go any further, please, love it if you give us a little thumbs up, a like, subscribe, and that always helps us out as we help you out and inform you on what is new in the news and the market up here in Summit County, Colorado. So please, either way, thank you for watching. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mark Cribbet, great real estate attorney up here in Summit County, Breckenridge. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Matt, thanks for having me. Benji, it's nice meeting you.
It's nice to meet you as well.
As you alluded to, Matt, some interesting changes for real estate brokers and consumers coming through.
Yeah. And I'll be honest. I like change, but I'm kind of excited about this. There's a few things that are definitely daunting and a little scary as a real estate professional, but I'm actually excited to embrace this and change. I think there's going to be some changes for the better. But how long? Just a quick overview. Let's talk about that just to share with people. What is this verdict and why did they do it?
So I think it was in December. There's been a court case basically alleging that home sellers were taken advantage of by some NAR rules related to how commissions were split by buyer's agent and seller's agent. Generally speaking, the seller is required to carry, a percentage of the commission cost, and that percentage is then advertised to buyers agents, so they effectively know how much, how much money they're going to be brought in. So typically, it's a 6% commission rate that would be split in half. The seller's commission is split in half and paid, 3% to the buyer. Sometimes those numbers are a little less. If it was a 5.25% commission, then sometimes it'd be 3% and 2.5 or 2.25 rather to the buyer's agent. But ultimately, the allegations were that format artificially increased the prices of houses and also caused buyer's agents to steer, their clients towards sellers that were offering higher commission rates to the buyer's agent. And those were actually kind of prescribed by the National Association of Realtors. And it wasn't really something that you could get around. And that's what the lawsuit gave challenge to. Ultimately, a verdict, I believe, for $1.8 billion was entered. An appeal then proceeded, and a settlement and kind of full dismissal entered end of last week for $418 million, with effectively 3 caveats on the way that the National Association of Realtors was going to change its policies related to the split of commissions or how commissions are going to be paid. In effect, it's going to give more bargaining power to buyers and sellers to select the broker that they want based on how that broker is going to, get paid on the transaction. You're no longer allowed to advertise what the actual commission rates would be under a seller's contract through the MLS to avoid that steering issue that I discussed previously. So yeah, a lot of back and forth. The settlement has, been made and signed by both sides, but ultimately there are kind of three paths to it maybe not going through. The first of which is it still needs judicial approval. The judge who's heard the case has probably seen the settlement, but it'll need to be approved in order for that to move forward. Second issue that might come up as we move down the road is that there's a class of individuals who are home sellers that brought this suit who could still object to the settlement terms. And the last thing might be that the Department of Justice could still get involved. We're talking about a pretty large agency that represented, 1 million real estate brokers, and they may come in with some sort of antitrust kind of investigation. It's hard to determine. Just this morning, I know the Department of Justice went after Apple this morning, alleging antitrust stuff. So I think potentially there could be some federal government, intervention, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, so it's sounding like this is pretty likely going to go through in July.
Yeah, I anticipate that it will. I think the terms of the settlement are somewhat reasonable. I don't think a judge is going to disapprove of them. Nonetheless, I've seen judges do, I'll call them interesting.
The unexpected. Yeah.
Can I just say that was the clearest I've ever heard anybody explain what was going on with all of this?
That was a great explanation.
I always walk away with so many dumb guy questions.
Oh, it gets confusing. I've been trying to explain it and articulate it to clients a lot, but now they're calling it the decoupling of the commissions. And honestly, I don't know. It seems like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to give more negotiating power to the buyers and the sellers to figure out what real estate brokers they want to use, as well as how much they're going to pay them. I will not be surprised when there are a lot of real estate companies, especially on buyer side, who start doing this stuff on a flat fee. Because the fee shift, effectively what's happened is there's been a fee shift from the seller paying, both sides of the transaction to buyer now being required to pay its side without seller intervention. So what I anticipate seeing is, somebody saying, yeah, we'll go out, look for homes for you, start negotiating with the sellers on these homes, on a flat fee of $2,500, $3,000, somewhere along those lines. The problem with that is, particularly among first-time home buyers, who have been scrimping and saving to get the down payment together, have gotten all their financials in order, and now they have to come up with another $3,000, or some amount that they've negotiated with their buyer's agent to put up front, and it may create an additional barrier to entry into the home buying market. I think that's because of that, a lot of younger real estate brokers, people who haven't been doing it that long, tend to get their first gigs as being buyer's agents for initial buyers, first time buyers. So I think that's actually going to cause potentially a large exodus of real estate brokers in the market right now, because the money's just not going to be there for those young brokers. So it's important to have somebody like Matt, who's been doing this for a long time and has a good relationship. He's been buying and selling houses for long enough that he's got a really good relationship with folks who he's already put into a home who eventually are going to sell down the road. He's going to be able to maintain in the industry, but a lot of the younger folks and some of the newer brokerages are probably going to go by the wayside as we move forward in the next, if I were to guess, 18 to 24 months would probably be an accurate representation, but we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, no, that'll be really interesting to see. And I think for the consumers, if I was a home buyer and I didn't have, I've saved up this, amount of cash for a down payment, and that's taken enough time. And now I'm just like, okay, now I got to come up with this extra money to pay my agent to get representation. That seems kind of daunting. There has been some talk about some workarounds on that for people in that situation. Have you heard much about that?
I don't necessarily know. I mean, there's somebody will get creative. What those workarounds necessarily look like, I don't know. If you've heard something specific, I'm all ears because I'll be interested to hear it. You know, I know in the past I've had, clients who have already, they're selling, they've already found a buyer, they're comfortable with the terms. They just need somebody to draft up, the agreement and, make sure disclosures done correctly. And then put them in touch with the title company to get an actual closing done. So I've had that happen in the past, and it's usually less expensive than the commission amounts. But, the buyers were never paying the commissions. It was always the sellers. So we'd see the sellers come in and want to do that and save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But they had to go out and find their buyer. Within my practice, obviously that's not what I do. I'm sure ethically I'm not allowed to do that. I don't think. I think the Colorado Real Estate Commission would be pretty upset if I were out there trying to shop these kinds of things. So they do come to us from time to time, and we do them. But ultimately, it's not our expertise to be able to find potential buyers and do the negotiation side of it. It's usually it comes to us when somebody's already got the deal in hand and they just need the paperwork put together.
Yeah. The thing I have heard, I mean, as far as somebody in that situation or that position being, essentially they can negotiate on their behalf. And if they owe a fee, they, that could possibly go into buyer costs. So that's always a possibility. So that I've heard of, but we'll just have to yet to see if that's the case, if we're able to do that. So, Benji, is that a little better on my reception? Am I still pretty crunchy?
I have my mute on. Yeah, you look good now.
Okay. All right. I think it was the blurry background was doing it. Sorry. Thanks. So I think there are going to be some options for people. I've also heard things as far as like VA loans, because currently under a VA loan, and Benji, this actually would, impact you.
Yep.
Is that under a VA loan, you're not actually allowed to pay any brokerage fees. So they're going to have to tweak that to be able to accommodate VA loans. Somebody's got to figure that one out. So, but yeah, so what is, so that touches a little bit on what people, can't afford to get representation. I think that's really important for people to be able to understand what their options are. So, thanks a lot for touching on that. I appreciate that, Mark. And do you see this dropping home prices for people?
I imagine there will be a lot of scuttlebutt about, this is going to revolutionize the real estate market and prices are going to come down, exponentially because, the arguments are effectively, okay, buyer's agents were shopping higher commissions were being offered on higher priced properties because, everybody makes more money. It may have an effect in some real estate markets, but, Summit County specifically, or just the high Rockies in general, there's not enough inventory, to outstrip, the number of potential buyers. So I don't think it's going to have that much of an effect on, pushing prices down, the average home price down in our area. Ultimately it will save sellers some percentage because the commission structure is going to change. But, in a $420,000 home, that's, $25,000, and that's kind of the 420 is kind of the average selling price across the United States. Matt, you probably know what the number is up here, but ours is significantly higher than that. Yeah. So I don't think in our market it's going to have that much of an effect. But ultimately, there will be some cost savings based on the reduction in the commissions to the sellers. And if in fact buyers agents do start operating on kind of a flat fee, that necessarily will be backed out of the sales price that would initially have been borne by the seller and transferred to the buyer. So you'll see some reduction, but I don't think it's going to have a great effect on reducing price of a home outright. That's simply an inventory problem.
I think you hit it right on the head of it there. It's an inventory problem. Comes down to supply and demand, right? I mean, if there's high supply, then buyers are going to be in the driver's seat, and if there's high demand, I think right now we got a low inventory, and it's if sales pick up, it's going to be more of that seller's market, and sellers are just going to put that extra 25 grand or 3% or whatever you want to call it in their pocket. So that's my thought. But anyway, well, hey, Mark, I really appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much for being here. That was a really great explanation of things. And if anybody needs a wonderful local attorney up here, Cribbet and French, give Mark a call.
Very good, gentlemen. I appreciate your time and having me on.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much.
Bye, Mark.
Thanks. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool. There's a lot to unpack there. We're going to keep unpacking that. We're going to keep giving you information throughout the weeks to come, just to keep you informed on how this is going to affect you and kind of how you can prepare. If you're looking to buy or sell a property, what are your options? How can you prepare? And what's in your best interest in these huge changes? Because this is going to change the market tremendously. So anyway,
right.
Yeah.
Where do we want to move on from here? I've got the real estate tip, and I think we're talking about more of that stuff. And then there's how is the market?
Yeah, let's go straight into the real estate tip, because that kind of just carries on from what we were just talking.
All right.
Yeah. So what options do you have for buyer representation? So if you're going out there, you could go it alone. One is just go around to listing agents. I think there's probably a fair amount of people that are probably going to do this. Go around to listing agents and have them show you the property. They're going to have a real responsibility to inform you that they work for the seller. They represent the seller. Their job is to get the seller as much money as possible. They could draft a contract. They could do that. They could put that together, but you're a customer, so you don't have any representation. So I think that's important. It's a buyer beware type of thing. But there are going to be people that go for that option. And you're going up against probably a seasoned veteran negotiator and expert in real estate. Option number two, like we were talking with Mark, you can have a lawyer draft the contract, a few $1,000s and draft that up. Again, you don't have anybody negotiating for you. You don't have anybody showing you properties. But if you're, comfortable doing all that legwork, Mark, a guy like Mark is, knowledgeable in the contracts and can help navigate that. Option number three is to go and interview agents and find the right fit for yourself. So this is kind of where it's really cool with this model, is that it's going to give buyers that opportunity to interview agents, find the value that they want. It might be, an agent that is 3%, but at the end of the day, they're like, this is going to be worth it. It's going to pay for itself and 100%. Or it might be, I'm going to go for the discount brokerage, save the money and go that route. So you are going to be in the driver's seat where you're going to be able to decide, this has value for me and this is why. And us as realtors, I think we've done not the greatest job of articulating our value to the public and really explaining how it works, to give the public the options. And I think that's really where this is all stemming from. So,
can I ask you a question really quick?
Yeah.
How do you think this is going to affect you personally?
Yeah, that's a great question. We work with a lot of sellers. So there's going to be adjustments that are going to be made there. We've always gone into what we would call a seller presentation. Now I'm calling them interviews. These are interviews, and it's going to be the same thing with buyers. And it's been always on us, our onus to be able to explain and articulate to the sellers what the value is, and we don't have a problem doing that. Because we can show that this is going to bring you value. This is going to get you more for your property. Now on the buyer side, we're going to need to really up our game to do the same thing, to really be able to articulate our value, because in the past it's just been, you do your job, you kind of do everything behind the scenes. They don't have to worry about it. And they're not that worried about it because it's not coming directly out of their pocket.
Right.
It was coming around in a roundabout way from the seller. And so now that it's like maybe coming directly out of their pocket, then there's a lot more thought that's going into that, because that expense. And so we're just going to need to do a better job of articulating our value. So I'm actually excited. I think it's a good improvement in the industry, to be honest. It's backwards. It's like, okay, you're my realtor and you're going to go show me houses and you're going to try to get me the best value on a house so I don't have to pay more, but you're getting paid by the other side.
Right.
So, that seems like that's a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
And then furthermore, it's like when you sell me a house, the more I pay for the house, the more you make.
Yeah. Yes.
So I get it. It's like, wait a minute, how does this make sense? You're supposed to be representing me, but there's such a conflict of interest. It's like, yes, we work. I mean, I go out and I've showed properties, and it's like the interest is of my client, not to get him caught up on the outcome, and to be concerned with what's best for my client. But you can see that without a high level of ethics, then it's set up for failure. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think after the housing crash, there's been a really watchful eye over all of this kind of stuff. Do you think it'll ratchet down even further in the future? I don't know. What does the future look like even after this?
Yeah, because there's still, I mean, even with this this settlement, there is still that conflict of interest, as far as the more the buyer spends, the more the realtor makes, if you're on a commission-based model. So that might continue, and that might come down the pike someday too. So, yeah, to say that, and who knows? I mean, is this going to go into the auto industry? And there's things going on there. Yeah. I think this is going to be just kind of a tip of the iceberg for a lot of stuff.
Man.
So,
well, it's interesting. Hopefully this is great for a lot of people just to understand it. Like I said, what Mark had to say earlier, just so clear. Just played it. Just said it outright for me. I didn't have any stupid guy questions to ask or anything.
No, I was glad he could articulate that like that for sure. So, wanted to get him on here. So, yeah. But anyway, so we can jump to how's the market.
Yeah, how is the market? It says we've got 368 active listings and climbing. Are you sharing your screen for this part?
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
So we've been, I mean, the lowest of the low where we got our inventory, we were like under 100 active listings. That's when the market was really hot. There was a ton of things going on the market, but going off really quick. Now things have been kind of flatter for a while. And we're finally starting to see some inventory build, which is really encouraging because buyers just, quite frankly, haven't had a lot of options. So what we have now is just that slow uptick in inventory. If we look at this chart here that I've got, let's share this guy. The overall inventory right now, this is new listings by week. Thank you. It's been hard to get over this thing. So new listings by week, you can see the black solid is this year. 2023 is in blue. 2022 is up there. So we're starting to see more new listings coming on the market. New pendings by week. This was a big week, actually. Wow. So we saw a lot of stuff go under contract. So that it's things that were going like just in a matter of days. So that's kind of exciting, to see that big change. And then days until pending, we saw,
Really
like I said, some things go under pretty quickly. So,
Yeah.
this is a micro look. This is week by week. So it's
Mhm.
hard to say. If we go into like yearly demand and inventory, can kind of see where we are. But like, median days on market, have been trending up. Over asking price, we're 2.3% below asking price. So that's been definitely trending down year over year. So you can kind of see. But as an average, a lot of times we've ridden in this, 2 to 3% under asking price is kind of what buyers are negotiating off of. So yeah, it's, a monthly buyer demand. Again, we're going to see that, kind of the same trends. Is just a few percent under asking price. So people have some leverage as buyers, which is good. But that things are moving. So I'd say it's not a bad time to buy or sell right now, to be honest. It's it's right in that healthy middle zone. Buyer seller market fluctuates a little bit one way or another, depending on what market you're looking at.
Mhm.
But up here in Summit County, it's kind of healthy in the middle, gives people opportunities.
So we did the real estate tip, we did the market. Now we're on to the MLS check. You ready for that?
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right, let me pull that up real fast. Share this guy. And I've got to go back and untick this thing. There we go. All right. Wow, we're starting off huge.
Yeah, we'll just go. We're just gonna, up the price. So today was kind of, I don't know. I was looking through these and I was like, oh, would I rather have that one, or would I rather have that one?
I can see which one I'm already excited about.
Yeah, so it's kind of a would you rather day. That's what we're doing.
So this first one is a townhouse for $1,335,000, and it is in Dillon, Colorado.
In Dillon, it's a nice looking townhouse, not too far from the lake, the amphitheater, all that great stuff. Nice thing about these is that you can still get a short-term rental license if that's the thing that you want to do.
What do they call that? It's like zone something, zone 2 or something?
Yeah, so Breckenridge has its different zones like this. This one's inside of Dillon city limits. So Dillon has not enacted those types of short-term rental restrictions. So for an investment property, this is a good option.
It is really close to the lake. And this is like centrally located, all the cool stuff.
Yeah, you got shops, you got restaurants, you got the grocery store right there. It's got a movie theater, far walk to the movie theater. Not a lot you can walk to the movie theater from here.
All right, let's take a look at this condo. Look at that. It's got the floating bar stools.
I know, that's kind of cool. I thought that was fun.
Cool.
I've seen those every once in a while, and I think they're fun.
I like townhouses. I just don't like that they have a shared wall, but then I'm in an apartment and every single wall I've got is shared.
Yeah, and you don't have anybody above you or below you, so that's always a big plus.
It's a really good looking kitchen. I love the underlighting.
They did a lot of nice little touches on this guy. So I think it's a 3-bed, 1,646 square feet. These are nice. They've got garages, which is of course just so key up here. And this one looks like they've totally redone it. It looks like everything, bathrooms, all that, they've touched on everything.
I've got to ask you, does your bed look like this?
I do not have an Aspen bed.
You don't have the Aspen bed?
I do not.
I can't believe we've gotten this far in the show. I never asked you if you have one of those.
How do you bring that up? I mean, seriously. Hey, look, it's like just sound without sounding creepy.
So what's your bed?
What kind of bed do you have?
This is cool.
The wall of skis back there.
Yeah.
Is artwork.
See, and that's me from the city. I'm like, oh, that's a neat little installation they've got there, little artwork. No, that's functional.
That's functional. Yeah. So it's got its hot tub. It's got a little public amenities or common amenities, I should say. But yeah, overall good place. 1,335,000, 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,646 square feet with a 2-car garage.
That's a really nice looking place. Next one
Yeah.
is a townhouse again in Silverthorne for $1,300,000 ish.
Yeah. So, or would you rather have this one? So 1,830 square feet, a little bigger, right around the same price point. Down in Silverthorne, you got some ponds right around there. You got a rec path nearby. And these are brand new. So 3-bed, 3-bath, 1,800 square feet, new construction, townhouse style again. So, very kind of a similar type style. But you kind of, and you got to, I don't know, you could get on that rec path, I think, but for the most part, this is kind of what I would call a drive-to property. You want to go to stuff, you're probably going to drive.
Where is the rec path? Am I near it?
Actually, you gotta scroll down. I think I think I misspoke. There's like a little pathway down there in that neighborhood down there. You got to jump in. Yeah, right in the middle of that. Yeah, right there. You got to kind of jump in on that.
And that'll get this thing.
Yeah, and then you can kind of get down to the Silverthorne rec path, which will take you into town. So. Yeah, so from this particular property, you have probably a little time on the highway to get
cool.
to
Looks like there's like a stream or something that comes off of this river.
Oh, you got the river that comes through there, and you got all these little kind of outlet things. So, yeah.
Good looking house.
I need to go investigate that rec path. It might go all the way through there. Now I'm second guessing that. I think you can get on that.
Good looking interior.
It is nice, dark. I like the dark contrast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice finishes on these. Nice wood floors.
Nice, clean and modern looking stuff.
Yeah, they didn't go overly modern though.
Nah.
They just
nice and tasteful.
Yeah, it'll be timeless. It's gonna last. And then that's a nice setting off the back. You got that nice big deck. So I think is it a 2-car garage? A 2-car garage. So this is a tandem garage.
Oh, I see. They park behind each other.
Yeah. So, good way to get both vehicles in. I could see that being sometimes frustrating.
Oh, for sure.
As far as, but when you're there it depends on if you're day to day or there on vacation. If you're there on vacation, everybody kind of leaves at the same time. But
I'd turn that first parking spot into like a gym area or something.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
This one was fun. So now
this is the one I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Single family residence. This looks like a museum. Get out of here.
Isn't that crazy?
3,000 square feet, 2,300,000. This is in Fairplay.
Yeah. So just over the pass, just over Hoosier Pass from us. And, this is a more remote property. So scrolling.
It's down
your dot.
south.
Yeah. So south of Breckenridge, probably about a 45-minute drive or so from Breckenridge. Maybe a little bit more just because you got to kind of wind up these roads. But that is quite the spot.
I love this even more now.
I know. Do you ever watch Sleeper?
No, what is Sleeper?
Woody Allen movie.
Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen movie. And they've shot this. There's this space shuttle home outside of Denver.
Okay.
They shot this thing at. So I don't know. Suddenly.
Oh, really? This is from that movie.
This isn't, but someday I'll have to show you the Woody Allen space shuttle movie. But this is, I don't know, it's kind of a got a little mid-century modern flair to it.
Man, this just looks so grand on the inside with all those windows and how tall
Huge
the
windows.
ceilings are.
Somebody had fun building this thing.
These beams are incredible.
Yeah, this is quite a unique house. That is really, really cool.
Man, that is so... Yeah, this does. It looks mid-century modern, like something The Incredibles would be in or something.
Exactly. Totally looks like The Incredibles house.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. This is different. I haven't seen something like this out here. It's always big log things or stone fireplace. This is neat. The Adobe style.
And I find that, yeah, it's a really interesting style because they got the Adobe, they got the log, then they've got the square beams. So you got some modern. That's an interesting house. I've not seen one quite like this before.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Kids would have fun in there.
Yeah, this is like a mall almost. Oh, there's even a fireplace outside. Oh, it's one of those little guys.
A little chimenea. Actually, those work really well.
Chimenea.
Chimenea.
Ah, hey, this has got a house on top of it too.
Wait, what?
Is this it?
Oh yeah. Oh, this is like an over the garage thing.
Yeah, my jam.
Yeah. So you got like caretaker's unit out there. Perfect.
These are pavers.
Oh,
this is
yeah.
like $300,000 worth of pavers.
Spared no expense on this.
Yeah.
So gosh, you get it
really crazy.
For $2.3 million, you get a lot of house on this thing. That's pretty amazing.
Whoa.
That's a fun shot.
Just,
there you do. You got your exterior fireplace there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
I think this is my new favorite one we've ever done.
This is a fun house, and you got a bunch of land that comes with it too. So you're on 83 acres.
Look at all that.
I don't know. I got to find a buyer for this one. This is cool.
It's really cool.
I just so I can go see it.
Uh-oh. Is that a little one? You can't tell.
Pretty full-size moose there. That's a good-sized moosey.
You'd need a house with beams like this or something like that nearby.
Right.
That is a really big parcel.
That is huge. 83 acres is massive.
All right. Well, that's my new favorite one.
Yeah, I like that one
a
lot.
lot. We've got two more. This will probably break my favorites. This first one.
So now
like
these,
the beast.
Yeah. So now we got Breckenridge Properties. We got two right around $10 million, give or take. So let's see if you had to choose between this one. So we got this one is 7-bath, 5,800 square feet.
Get out of here.
And take a look at the location. Let's see where that is on the map.
So we
are all about the
in
location.
Breckenridge.
So you're right. So you're right in town.
All the ski
you're right
there too.
Yeah, you're right near the ski area. You're right off of. You're pretty close to 4 O'Clock Road there. You're gonna have that's right, but down below that's the skier bridge. So you get that. You get that ski access right there. So that's your almost your true ski in, ski out. I mean, you can ski back to it, and you can ski out, but when you ski out, you got to go take the gondola.
There's so many different roofs on this thing.
It does. A lot of roofs.
I love the garage doors. This thing is so pretty.
It is a beautiful home.
I'm excited for this area right over here.
Some nice little touches. The lift cable railings.
This is such a ski home.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful views of Baldy. That is gorgeous.
Are you talking about me again? Stop.
So it's so beautiful in the morning, Baldy.
Thank you. What a huge kitchen. There it is. Stove of my dreams.
Nice, big, huge 6-burner range. Gorgeous. I like the rustic flooring in there too. Got a little barnwood action there in the bathroom.
So artistic. Look at all this. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
4?
You could throw some paper airplanes off of that thing.
Oh man, Gabe would be like trying to climb down those lights.
Oh, absolutely. You got a snowmobile in the house.
That is too cool.
Yeah, I want a snowmobile in the house.
How'd they get that up there?
Right? This looks like some really fun touches. That's a door handle.
They got them barn doors.
Yep. Now look at that office. That is cool.
I feel like they were moving in furniture while they were building. Some of this stuff just doesn't look like you can get it into some of these.
It seems like you'd have to crane it in. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I'm going to say most of those things probably come with the house.
That shower is to die for.
That is cool. Big old beams above it.
Oh man,
This
this
has gotta be
roof. The ceiling is just too much. There's like a metal beam and then big structural beams, and then this is, oh man.
They got a ton going on. Yeah, that's pretty. I love that with the fireplace. Oh, that's a fun shower.
Textured wall.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to see if I can go get some video of this one. This is cool.
Are we in the walkout basement, I guess?
Yeah, walkout basement. Yeah, I think it's a nice downsloping lot on this, which is great for.
They got Donkey Kong back here.
Heck yeah.
Awesome bar.
Wow, look at that.
There it is. That's how we end me.
That's the liquor cabinet. That's
Yeah.
the end of, well, that is fun. That's some fun stuff in there.
Ultimate bunk room. This is too cool.
Yep, you got a lot of kids in there.
They have cool gaming chairs. Dueling showers.
Wait, that's banjos.
That'd be the worst to hear in there.
No thanks.
This is great. Yeah, there it is.
There it is, your outdoor fireplace. Beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous.
And just a nice barbecue. It doesn't have to go crazy. We don't need a whole kitchen out here. Look at
right.
that, though. You can see all the lights.
Keep it modest.
City.
Yep. It's overlooking, Breckenridge and Baldy. Yeah, so in your quick shot down to town. Just a really cool neighborhood.
Last picture. Very
Wow.
nice.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Great ski property. Great in the summertime too. You got hiking trails right around there. Just easy to jump on those. So that was a fun house. Okay, so that was the one. And then this one.
Here's the next one. 10,800,000. This is 30 Peak 8 Court in Breckenridge. And it's in a lot of the same kind of area. I think the other house is like right over here.
It is, yeah. So this one is this is gonna be what I'd call true ski in, ski out. Because you walk right across the cul-de-sac. You're gonna just go across there, and then kind of above those condos, there's actually a little trail right there. Yep, you got it. So you can just get on that, ski over to the chairlift and hop on, and then ski back at the end of the day. So you're right there at the base of Peak 8. So from a ski in, ski out location, this one's is a little better. So, but
look at all the grass.
Yeah, so it's not quite as big. It's 3,900 square feet. So that's pretty outside though. Yeah.
It's got a kind of similar arch to to a lot of them. This is gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's a really cool design. And that location is awesome. That's a cool setting.
Oh, I love how they did the chair with the old skis.
Yep, the Adirondack ski chair.
That's awesome.
You don't see those all over?
No, we have them out here. They're made out of crappy plastic, and the sun just destroys them in
just
a month.
Melts them.
You sit in it, and you got plastic coming out of your arms. I got stabbed by this chair. They got eaten by the sun.
Yeah, here, sit on this. Try some grill marks.
Yeah, it's just dusty, gross chairs out here.
That's a cool hot tub setting. Yeah, super private. I mean, you're right. Yeah, I mean, you'd be so close to the ski area yet to have such a private space.
Yeah, look at this. It's got a deck over the deck. This is too cool.
Yeah, that is fun.
Oh, they've got it. They got it.
Look at that.
Ultimate stove.
I think that's a pizza oven.
Holy moly.
That looks like a wood-fired pizza oven.
I love this.
That's fun.
Big stack of wood there too.
Yeah. That is super fun.
These lights are crazy unique. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Is that glass all the way up?
They look something like. Yeah, I think so. I like these. Look how the beams are kind of just trimmed out with steel too.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
That's cool. I imagine they're steel beams and they just inset.
The
wood inside of it. But I like that. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
it's a good
they
mix.
had to punch a bunch of holes through that I-beam.
Right? Yeah, put those lags in there. It's a nice touch.
Man, that couch just keeps going, you know?
Right? That whole living
thought-
room I love the way it just continues to open up, and then you just got the sky behind there.
When I was in art school, my brother bought me this huge couch, and I had a friend at school who was like 7 feet tall, and I was so confident. I was like, yeah, bring him over. So I brought him over to the house, and I had him lay on the couch, and his feet couldn't touch and his head couldn't touch, and he had this really deep voice, and he goes, I feel small. It was so
Did you call him Tiny? Was Tiny his nickname?
Oh yeah, no. He got in my car one time and broke one of my air conditioning vents with his knee just because he was so large.
Oh my gosh. Well, you had to be like high tower, just take the front seat out and drive from the back.
Yeah, like Shaquille O'Neal driving from the back seat.
Yeah, exactly.
This is really cool.
Yeah, like it's got a nice mixture of some steel in there and some wood elements.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like the way it did.
Like this is totally unnecessary, but they put it in just to be extra, and it's so nice.
Yeah, is that metal or is that wood above it?
It looks like an I-beam.
Yeah,
but it's like on a 90.
That's cool. Yeah, and then
I love how the floor is the floor in the shower.
Zero threshold. I like that a lot. Yeah.
There's
a nice game room. Stamped. You got the stained concrete. That's a
good really look.
Cool look. It is a good look.
Good look for this room too.
Super clean. Good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Works well in basements, especially when you have that inflow radiant heat. It just transfers the heat right through that.
Yeah,
it's nice and efficient.
You know what we haven't done? We haven't checked in on that Discovery Channel show. Is it Discovery Channel?
Oh yeah, it's
been a few weeks.
The flipper. We'll have to check in on those guys. See how the flips are going.
We need more shots of summertime, springtime. Look at that. That is too cool.
Oh, it's one thing about like up here, Breckenridge, Summit County, people always say they came for the winter and they stayed for the summer. They're here 20 years later. Summers are so wonderful here. Unbelievable.
I bet.
They're just like the perfect temperature. Evenings are a little cooler. You put on a sweatshirt, but it's just so nice.
This is a really cool place.
I'll take it. I don't know. Which one do you like more?
If I had to pick between the three, I think I'm going with the 10 million.
Yeah, the one before this one.
Yeah, the Woody Allen house is just too far away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
But these two guys are downtown and they are amazing. I just love this one though. This is really
that one is really cool. It's a beautiful home.
I think I'd pick that guy.
Yeah, I'd be so torn. I mean, it's bigger. You get a lot more square footage.
Mm-hmm.
The 30 peak 8 court. You got that a little bit better ski access. So I don't know. I guess the 10 million one that's really close to the Nordic Center though. So and that's near and dear to my heart. So what can I say? I might have to go with that
bigger
one.
Than the Nordic Center.
It is almost.
The
usable square footage. Half of the Nordic Center is storage and stuff down in the basement.
That's all I got for you.
Awesome. Hey, Benji, thanks so much. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Ski Summit Real Estate Show. We'll be on next week, 2:00. Thank you for that. Give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.